Hey Seabreeze, we're doing this Next Move campaign where we're raising $2.5 million for a new kids building and also a basketball court expansion. And we're asking everybody in the church to pray about making a one-time contribution, a one-time gift by the end of the year, and then also a 3-year financial commitment over a 3-year period. It's over your regular giving over the 3-year period. And we're asking everybody to let us know what they've decided on that by November 8th. That's what we're calling Commitment Sunday. And so to kind of talk about the project, I've got Lance and I've also got Ethan. They've been heavily involved in this project since the very beginning. They've worked with the design build firm, the architects, worked with a lot of different volunteers through this whole process. So I want them to just take a minute and share with us some of the highlights of the project and what we can expect in the future of the property here at Seabreeze. So Lance, I want to start with you, and I want you to just kind of give us an overview of the layout of the campus and talk about some of the different impacts that this project is going to have.
Yeah, for sure. So we have the location of the new kids building right here. We chose that location for a couple reasons. One being just really better visibility for new families. So, originally families would have to walk all the way to this back area back here, whereas now they can see this from the parking lot and walk right up and know exactly where to drop their kids off. This location also just balances out the site. So we have this building right here and this building over here, and this is the other one right here, and this just allows for a nice central location for gathering space. If we want to do just any kind of thing throughout the year, this provides a real central location for that. It also provides some additional basketball courts, actually just one additional basketball court. So we have one there, another there, and then so up to 4 basketball courts here, which just allows us to get more people involved, allows us to get more families involved in the Upward program throughout the year. One cool thing too is now we have a drive aisle right here that goes all the way around the property. So if you're driving in from this direction, you can actually drive around here and find parking back there, as well as on this court 3 and 4. There's going to be parking there on Sundays, so we can really max out the amount of parking spots that we have. So this gets us actually an additional 21 parking spots from what we have now.
That's great. And then the addition of the court going from 3 to 4 allows us to grow the Upward program by up to 100 families, right?
Yeah, that's
awesome.
right. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. All right, thanks, Lance. Ethan, you want to just give us an overview of what we can expect on the inside of the kids' building, kind of go through the floor plan?
Yeah, you bet. So if you are standing outside, kind of in this area, looking at the front of the building, you'll see this whole area, it's all glass. So you can see right through there. One of the things that was really important to us in this project was transparency. And so if you're a new family with your kids, you're not looking at this building wondering what's on the other side of those doors. You know before you go in. So that's really cool. And then when you do go in, you can come in through either the doors over here or the doors over here. And then we have great weather here. And so actually this section, when the weather's good, which it often is, this is kind of a garage door. And so we can open that up and you can just walk in through there in open space, which I think is really cool. When you walk in, there'll be some kids check-in stations over here, off to your right, off to your left as well. And then straight in front of you, that's a spot where volunteers can greet you and help you out if you need some help. Then if you've got younger kids, you kind of walk through this hallway. You'll see we've got the 3- and 4-year-old room, the toddler room, and the nursery up through this hallway. And each of these is an open counter space, so you can really see into each of the rooms very well as you drop your kids off. If you've got older kids, older boys, older girls, you'll come through this way, and you can see we've got a boys' room and a girls' room. And these are actually, each of these represents 2 rooms because this is a movable wall. And so we have the option of opening that up if we want, or having 2 separate rooms. When we open it up, or even really when it's closed, these are huge areas. This is a lot of square footage for the boys and girls classes. And the reason for that is that as we're teaching kids God's Word, we want them moving. We want them to be active as they do that. And so this provides for us to do that. We don't want it to be a tight space. And as we talk to our volunteers, and even as I talked to some of the kids themselves about what was important to them in this building, they said space. We just want a lot of space to move. So we went ahead and did that. Of course, we've got boys' bathrooms and girls' bathrooms over here. These bathrooms are kind of like an airport where if you just kind of walk in, there's privacy, obviously, but there's no doors, which means kids aren't putting their hands on doorknobs or anything like that to get in, which is great from a sanitary perspective. And then for the preschoolers, we've got an additional bathroom down here. That's a bathroom, so that once you drop your kid off in this area, they just stay there the whole time. There's no need for them to leave that room. And so that's one of the things that was important to us with this whole project, was creating a sense of safety, where once your kids are in there, there's not another way out. We can watch the entrance and make sure that the kids are in there, and no one who shouldn't be there is in the back. And then safety, and then also just transparency, so you know what you're walking into before you get there.
That's great. That's great to hear. I know a ton of thought's been put into it, and I'm excited to see how it's put to use in the future. And I'm also excited to see what happens as we're all praying about how God might want us to be involved in this Next Move campaign.